Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Tractors and Such. So, I managed to source a motor for this Volkswagen. This is a 1600cc motor, which it was originally a 1300cc, but it's been rebuilt. It's got 1600cc jugs and pistons and heads. I've heard this thing run. It runs great. Brand new motor, basically. But there is some stuff I'm going to have to do to it so I could put it in my Volkswagen. So, most important thing is I got an intake manifold with the exhaust. These little pipes down here, they go to your exhaust. This one is missing that, so I got to pull this intake off, put that intake manifold on it. In order to do that, I got to take the shroud off. And what else I'm doing, I got some miscellaneous parts like a dipstick, gasket, exhaust gaskets. These two are the heat riser gaskets. Went to the Rural King and got some nuts and bolts for the exhaust. I'm going to probably put my plug wires I got recently, because I don't really like the blue ones on this. And I'll put my vacuum advanced distributor in that I got recently, like I had in the last video. So, and I also got a new air cleaner, air filter, and this is a screen protector, or what this does, this goes over your fan. You got a squirrel cage type fan in there, and this is a dome shaped, and it'll stick on the outside of this. So let's go ahead and start working on this. So let me open up my toolbox. There we go. That's on an impact somewhere. No, wait a minute. I think I know where that's at. It was with my electric ratchet. So I need to first take this bolt off, or loosen it. That holds the generator to your oil filler neck, where this is also your generator bracket. Where should I take the bolt off? I better take the bolt off the generator first. I got a 19mm socket. I'm going to take this generator pulley off because you got shims in here. I probably need to, yeah, I do need to take it off. This is not a guide on working on a Volkswagen motor. I'm just taking you all along for a ride. We're all learning together. Okay. So that's a bolt. Now remember how this goes on. So you got your pulley. Okay, so all of the shims are in the inside. So it goes like that. Okay, now take these shims out. This is what does your belt tightness. You remove shims to tighten the belt. There's 6 shims. And they all go on this inside pulley. So I'll put them in right there. I'll take the belt off just for convenience. We'll just leave this section on. Assuming that this generator is good. Got a 13mm bolt. Let me get my for your generator clamp. Let's make this a little faster. I love this little thing. Probably be smart if I go see how I can do this. Everything looks fine in here. Well, everything appears to look fine in here. The oil cooler's fine. I think we can resume. I guess I can go ahead and take this carburetor off. Just held in by 2 13mm bolts, one on each side. There's the carburetor. Simple little carb, choke, throttle, your little accelerator pump. Simple little thing. Alright. So let's see what we have to do to pull the intake off. Looks like we got 2 nuts here and a nut with a bolt on this side here. I guess I should have known that working on a Volkswagen, everything would be metric because it's all made in German. Okay, this side's out. That's the shrouds. Okay. Up there. here. There we go. Alright, old manifold's off. I guess the next thing that we can do is replace the distributor with my vacuum advance one while we have all the intake out of the way and the shroud. It'd be easier. Okay, so this is a process what I'm going to do to replace this distributor so I get my timing right. So this is my number one cylinder. This is cylinder 1, 2, you got 3 and 4. Okay, you got to get your rotor to point at the number 1 cylinder on your cap, and your firing order is 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so that's your firing order. So we got our number 1 plug wire, so we need to trace this to our number 1 cylinder, which should be allegedly right there, somewhere around this ballpark. But in order to make it more simpler, when I put the new distributor in, the rotor probably is going to point in a different direction, so I'll have to rearrange some wires, but that's no big deal. So I'm going to get a socket, I'm going to pull this plug out, I'm going to get a screwdriver to stick in the cylinder till I get it at top dead center. These plugs are brand new. They're even Bosch's, which is what originally Volkswagen uses, Bosch's. So, which these are expected to be new because this motor was rebuilt. So, I'm just going to use them. So I'm going to get my screwdriver, stick it in here. I got my wrench. I'm going to turn this crank bolt. Let's pop this cap off. Okay, it's allegedly around number 1, or it's somewhere around number 1 cylinder already. So remember, your distributor turns this way, so I'll stick my screwdriver in here, and all I'm going to do is get the wrench, or my adjustable wrench, cause it's handy and it was right here. So stick it on there. Rotor's going to turn a little. See that? Rotor turns a little. Okay, so I'm turning it too far, but that's okay. I'll just turn it over again. Here's my new distributor. I'm going to install it somewhere along this vicinity. Have the vacuum canister kind of pointed toward the back so I can run my hose from here to the carburetor. I'm going to pop the little clips off. Well, fell off, so let's see if I can have it in. We'll go, yeah, we'll go about right there. I want to get this vacuum canister away from the belt, so we'll go about right there. Again, this will be at a different point because it's a distributor, a different distributor, but your firing order will still be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the distributor off. A little 10mm. Just loosen it. And the Vacuum Advance gives you a better throttle response. Like, it won't really hesitate when you like mash hard on the throttle to take off. Pull this off. Okay, no distributors out. That's just grease. No water. That's just grease. But you want to put a little grease on it to save your O-ring. Be easier for it to slide in there. So let me set this down out of the way. Over here. I'm going to go put some grease on here. I'm going to get this in there. Put the new distributor in. Alright. Alright. I got the new distributor in, and I'm just going to tighten this bolt up enough, because I am going to have to move this around in order to get the motor to start. Okay, I think we're ready to put the intake manifold back on. I'm going to stick my expensive intake manifold on. And Paul painted it. I mean, you had to paint it, of course. But I had to have it. So, here we go. I think that's how it goes. I got the intake manifold loosely on. So, now I'm going to go ahead and put my exhaust on it. So I'm opening my gaskets. I'm going to get two out. One for each side, because this is a split exhaust type I have. So, make it simple. Leathermans, these are good. Put this right there. This is going to take some practice, so bear with me. Here we go. All right. That and started. Okay, so I got this exhaust on, or this side of it on. I got this full section on this side. Except on this side right here, this back side toward the flywheel, on the passenger side, one of the bolts would not want to tighten up. That ain't a good thing. But it's not a blind hole. So I'm going to wait for help to fix that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the rest of this together. Let's put a carburetor on. Got the carb on, so now I'm going to put the shroud on. This generator makes it 10 times heavier. Okay, I got the belt on. I guess I'm going to go ahead and run my plug wires. So I'm going to get my cap, my distributor cap. That's pointed at the number 1 cylinder. So let me get my new plug wires. So this one goes number 1. I gotta take the ends off the plugs. Okay, so it's a week later, and it's cold. It snowed a lot, and they called off school again. So I'm going to work on this. So I'm currently doing some wiring on the carb, which you got 2 wires running to the carb. You got to run it from your positive coil, your positive terminal on the ignition coil, because that's what Volkswagen wanted. And you need to run that to your solenoid and run a wire from there to your choke. So I done got a little piece made, because I got to run it around back so I don't I should have. I'm gonna be in the same boat anyways. Okay. Put it in here in the wire or this little spot on the coil. And give it some room. I want to get it away from the accelerator pump. Okay, that's good. So we want to say about right there. There we go. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm going to go ahead and put the clutch in. And I'm going to reuse the clutch because this one's alright. And it's good. I cleaned up the flywheel surface and also cleaned up the pressure plate surface. And we greased the pilot bearing, so this is how I'm going to do it. So get your clutch, get you an alignment tool, stick it in the alignment tool there, stick the alignment tool in the clutch, put your clutch, get that aligned. Get your pressure plate. I'm going to get a boat so I can start it. What a joy. Alright, I came back from Real King. Now we can put a clutch on. So we got the clutch on. I put new bolts in it. We torqued it down to 18 foot-pounds. That's what the book said. So now, I'm going to go ahead and install my plate on here. I'll put the starter motor on it. Okay, I got the starter on it. I got a new starter for it. We're going to try and start it now. Well, I got a good running Volkswagen motor. So now, hopefully in the next day or so, I'm going to put this in this bug. Well, it's the next day and we got the motor in. I am doing some wiring. It ain't hard to do. You got your oil pressure, your ignition, and your field terminal on your generator, and your, I think that's your armature, but it's that one that feeds the main power to your voltage regulator when it's turning. And then I got the ground that goes from the body of the generator to the chassis or the frame or unibody. Okay, so we've got all the wiring done. I've got the line connected for the fuel line. Even got the breather on and the crankcase ventilation hose. So now we're getting ready to go and fire this thing up. Alarm! It runs good. It runs good.
Alright. Is it neutral?
It's a neutral. It's just the, you know how it's, you know, I don't know how you explain it. Now we're going to see if it'll drive. This will be the first time it'll move under its own power since 1989. That's when the tag says was 1989. So we're going to try it. Sticker in first. I got brakes. Got reverse. Well, the bug drives and it runs. Drove it up and down the road. Drove great. I ain't taking it out on the road, the actual big road yet, or highway, however you call it, because This thing has been sitting since '89. Like, there could be a whole lot of variables that could go wrong. So, but this is a project, and it'll get that far. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you all for watching this video of tractors and such. Now we're going to go with Paul with the devotion.
Today's devotion is Genesis chapter 24, beginning at verse 61. Genesis 24, beginning at verse 61. Word of God said, "And Rebekah arose, and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels, and followed the man. And the servants took Rebekah, and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well of Labai, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes, and saw, and behold, the camel were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel, and she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was confirmed after his mother's death." Hey, thank you for watching Cade's video today. See you on the next post.